What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today to talk to you guys about the thing that's probably most important in your universe right now. That is, of course, CM Punk and Hulk Hogan's hockey fight. Because I know that's got to be just going around everybody's brain, right? Probably not. However, this is something worth talking about because, CM Punk has issues, all right? Look, I hate talking about CM Punk. I can't stand it. And here's the reason why. I love CM Punk. I loved him as a wrestler. I love him as a commentator. I loved everything this guy does. But it's really hard. It's really hard liking somebody and sticking up for them when they're always in the wrong. And here's the reality. As talented as CM Punk is, he's an elitist douchebag. Okay? Now, the latest example of this comes from taking a little bit of joy from my Chicago Blackhawks 2015 Stanley Cup victory. Okay? I love my Hawks. CM Punk claims basically he's the biggest Hawks fan in the world. And, the Hawks winning the cup is a big deal. But CM Punk is able to kind of make Hawks fans and hockey fans kind of look like dicks, and I'll explain why. Hulk Hogan. All right, let's start at the beginning. Hulk Hogan went on a radio show or ESPN or something like that, and basically, this is what he said. Well, this is not basically. Here's what he said. After the Lightning were up like 2-1, or it might have even been at 1-1, when the series was tied at 1-1, Hulk Hogan made a comment that went like this. The Blackhawks are in a whole lot of trouble. They should take their puck Punk and go home. CM can show them the way, brother. It's a little jab. It's a little jab, but it's not that big a deal. It was probably brought up because somebody mentioned the fact that CM Punk was a Blackhawks fan, Hulk Hogan being a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, or a supporter at least. Both have a wrestling connection. It makes sense. Well, leave it to old Phil to take a small situation like that and blow it into a full-scale friggin' situation. Now, look, I have no problems with CM Punk coming back and ripping him back, saying something like that. But that's not what Punk did. This is what Punk said the first time, which is just ridiculous. He grabs a microphone. He's for CSN Chicago, and he goes, out of nowhere, we want the cup. Normally, the less said about Hulk Hogan, the better, but he spoke my name first. The Tampa Bay organization should be embarrassed for hitching their trailer to such a piece of garbage that pronounced the captain's name wrong, and then called Coach John Cooper John Connor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Chicago, and we're real hockey fans, and we want the cup. Tampa Bay is going down. Now, look, I'm great. No, I'm not great. I'm grateful. I'm glad. I'm great. I'm grateful that the Blackhawks won the cup. I really am. I'm very happy about that, and I'm trying to set that aside. But what the hell, man? This real fan garbage, it's just utter insanity. It's just utter insanity. And I'll get back to that in a second because I want to finish the rest of what he says later on at the parade. But Hulk Hogan shot back a little bit at him, but he didn't go anything really bad. He didn't say anything terrible. Why? Because Hulk Hogan's a 61-year-old man who lives in Florida, and he's a publicity machine. That's all this is. So then Punk comes back on Twitter, calls him a hack. Shut the fuck up, or I'll wreck you, Hulk Hogan. I mean, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with CM Punk? This is not, people can be like, oh, it's a work, Dave, it's wrestling. No, it's not. CM Punk is not a wrestler anymore, and he will tell you he wants nothing to do with wrestling. He hates wrestling now. He can't stand it. He's burnt out from it. He tries to give away his wrestling memorabilia on Twitter all the time, or at least his WWE wrestling memorabilia. Why? Because he's a bitter, jilted lover. Didn't get everything that he wanted. Got most of what he wanted. He did get the longest title reign in history. But you know what? That's not enough. He didn't get his main events at WrestleMania. But even though he kind of did. Because most of people now know, maybe real wrestling fans know, that the entire event of WrestleMania is a main event. And rarely nowadays does the best match end the show. It happens every now and then nowadays, but not as often as it used to. CM Punk didn't get that, but that's another story for another day. Continuing on here. So, after all of the Twitter stuff, CM Punk appeared on the Stanley Cup parade for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Pat Boyle noted that Hulk Hogan was a Lightning fan, and CM Punk loses his shit. No, he's not. That's the problem I have with it. If I'm a Lightning fan, I'm embarrassed they hitched their wagon to a guy like that. Doesn't know Stamkos' name, the captain's name. Icing to him is something he eats 3 times a day. That's a funny line. I got to admit, that's a funny line. I like that. That's hysterical. But I digress. My love for hockey supersedes anything else, and I would just like to see people tune in and understand the game and appreciate the game for what it is. You put something on there like that, it kind of lowers it a little. If I'm a Lightning fan, I want someone to better represent my team. They're a hell of an organization. This paints them in the wrong light. This is what I have a problem with. Here's the reality. You got duped, folks. You came here because you thought that I was going to rip him for ripping Hogan. But that's not the reality. What I'm here for is ripping CM Punk for fucking painting a picture of hockey that is disgraceful, disgusting, and turns people away from the game. People can like hockey whether they're a fucking casual fan or they're a diehard fan, if they barely watch the product, or if they're a stat-mongering freak of nature. It doesn't matter. And CM Punk saying that Tampa Bay should be embarrassed for hitching their wagon. Oh, hitching their wagon to a huge superstar that could draw in a lot more fans to their team? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's not hitch our wagon to a draw of a guy who still draws a crowd wherever he goes. Yeah, let's not do that because, he mispronounces names. Oh, no, not mispronounce his name. But this is what we should expect from CM Punk, a guy who goes on internet shows quite regularly like The Nerdist, who I really like. I'm big Hardwick fan. Goes on shows like that all the time and does segments grammar policing the internet and such. You know why? Because he's an elitist douchebag. That's why he does it. And this is exactly how he's coming off here. My love for hockey supersedes anything else. Well, there's a problem there, Punk, because you're supposed to be an MMA fighter. Put your passion into the ring and maybe you'll stop getting your ass kicked in training sessions. All right? This irritates the shit out of me because what you're doing is harmful to hockey. And I'm a real hockey fan, CM Punk. I'm a real hockey fan. Let me tell you, anything that Hulk Hogan says about his team that he's representing, and Hogan represents a lot of teams, by the way. He's on every year ESPN wearing a different fucking jersey, whether it be whatever sport. But who cares? It's sports. Whatever Hogan does doesn't lower the team, doesn't lower hockey. The fact that you bring it up in this grandiose light only lowers my opinion of you. It makes me sick that you consistently come on the internet, come on television, and spew this ridiculous rhetoric. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Grow up. Grow up, CM Punk. You're 38 years old. Hulk Hogan's 61. It's time to grow up. Then people say, well, why isn't Hogan coming back? Because Hogan doesn't need to come back. Hogan doesn't need to come back at CM Punk. He can take his little shots on Twitter. He doesn't need to go on these big tirades. Why? Because Punk's partially right. Hogan doesn't know a lot about hockey. But who gives a shit? That doesn't make him any less formidable of a person for watching it. He can watch it, we can talk about it, whatever he wants. I'm a fat guy on a couch and I talk about wrestling and I'm an idiot. This is ridiculous. This divisive bullshit is part of the goddamn problem going on in the world anyway. Everybody has to represent something. Everybody has to be a real wrestling fan. Everybody has to be a real hockey fan. No, we're just fans. It's opinions, you dick. It's opinions. What the hell's the matter with you? What the hell's the matter with people? It's opinions. You can't be, you know what the great thing about opinions are? You can't be wrong because they're too you. They're too you. But what is wrong, CM Punk, is talking about the degradation of a sport because of another man's opinion. That is wrong. That is disgraceful. That, in my opinion, is unmanly and casts you as not a real hockey fan. Because let me tell you something. As my buddy Tommy C over at Shot from the Point knows, real hockey fans, real lovers of the sport embrace everybody. And if they don't know something, if somebody that they brought in doesn't know something about the sport, we try to educate them. We try to inform them. We try to make hockey more enjoyable. But we do not base our love of hockey, or nor do we expect others to put their love of hockey because of other people's knowledge of the game. It makes no sense. It's counterintuitive, and it's just plain wrong. I hope CM Punk sees this, and I'm sorry that I might have called him a dick a few times, but he is one. And I'm tired of the same old crap. I'm from Chicago too, CM Punk. I'm a hockey fan too. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm an MMA fan. I'm a lot of different types of fans. But I don't get where you come from with some of this stuff. Grow up and stop being an elitist douchebag. Okay? Doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing like that. It doesn't degrade anything. That's all I've got. Thank you guys for joining me on this little rant. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I don't do a lot of these type of videos, but you know what? This is one of those things that just irritated the shit out of me, and I had to get it out there. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you want to. And by the way, if you don't, it doesn't make you any less of a Dead on Dave fan, okay? It doesn't make you any less of a YouTube fan. Dickhead. Jesus. All right, well, that's all I got. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you're checking out everything in the community. Tommy C over at Shot from the Point. Joe Cronin over at The Joe Cronin Show. My boy Grand Slam 87, Jeff Huffman. Make sure you check him out. Remember, Nerd and the Jerk is back tomorrow, and we got some special stuff. The original Jerk, Jim, I forgot, I completely blanked there. The original Jerk, Jim, is coming in. He's bringing a little buddy along with him, and it should get quite interesting. So make sure you check out Nerd and the Jerk tomorrow. It's going to be great. Very excited about that. And that's all I got. We'll see you a little bit later on. Thanks for joining me. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.